Thank you for tuning in to Kiki Global Incorporated, where our motto is care and resources, kindness inspired. It is our goal to provide inspiration, kindness, resources, and love. May you be blessed and lifted the Kiki Global way.
To others. You are tuned in to Rap Sessions with Dr. Kiki. I sincerely hope we could meet every Wednesday at this time. We are on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and now Clubhouse. Yay! It's a pleasure, and I understand that different people will tune in at different times, different devices. I get it. But we want you to be encouraged in this day and age. There is a lot going on, like seriously. And depending upon who you speak with, that's the response you may get. Like, the sky isn't falling for everyone, but for some people it is. So we want to just be mindful of our world, our loved ones, our friends, our family, ourselves. So Rap Sessions by Dr. Kiki is an opportunity for all of us to share what we think, give our opinion, give our research, and hopefully build ourselves to be whole and to live on purpose. We are in a day and age where, guess what? People think they are going through what they're going through by themselves, right? That little itty voice somewhere will say, oh, wow, you going through this, huh? Well, where's so-and-so? Didn't you do such and such for them? Like, it's, for some people, it's nonstop. So I want to officially welcome you into this space. Today's topic is, I think, familiar to some of us, or we've heard of it, or we've dealt with it. And it's basically self-defeating patterns. Sometimes we go through life and we have not managed to master self-defeating thoughts, self-defeating conversations, self-defeating behavior. So it is my goal today to share a little bit, and I hope that whatever platform you are joining me from today, you feel that you want to share as well. Has anyone felt self-defeating effects, whether from yourself or anyone else? Anyone? Sometimes we don't want to admit, right? Because we have to, as much makeup as I have on today, you got to make it up a little bit, right? We got to put on our best face to face the world. But I hope that in this space, we can be transparent and we can be honest with ourselves. So last week's conversation was, you better watch those snakes. The week before that, there was another conversation. Tonight, we're going to talk about self-defeating patterns. We are where we are today based upon our own choices. I might sound a little harsh with this. I get it, life happens. But I also believe that whatever is thrown at us, we have opportunities to make decisions and we reap the benefits of said decisions. So what separates individuals who seem like they're just always on cloud 35,000, never miss a beat, always happy, everything's going well. What separates that individual from, let's say, one of us? I mean, one day we bump our little toe, we sitting out for a whole 3 months. We get that one no or negative response, and we decide we're not going to play ball anymore. What separates this type of outcome? Well, I would like to draw your attention to self-directedness. Self-directedness is from inside, okay? And it's the basic concept that refers to self-determination, which is an individual's ability to control, regulate, and adapt behavior in accordance with one's chosen goals and values. Wow, that's a mouthful. You mean to tell me myself, I'm responsible for where I am? And it's based on an individual's ability to control? How many people have just lost control? You're sitting at the red light, you might have heard something or thought about something, and the light changed and you didn't pull off fast enough, and someone's blowing their horn, giving you the finger, yelling, screeching around you, like they lose it. So self-control, if we were to master what self-control is, then that will actually help us to avoid destructive patterns or self-defeating patterns. And let me just pause one moment and just say this. Some people are excellent about cheering others onto the finish line. Like, oh my God, yeah, great. Like if they're hearing good news about something somebody's trying to accomplish, or someone's trying to or have accomplished something, they are all for it. They are, oh good, yeah, and they can just, if the person is feeling down or what have you, they're going to come up with a positive meditative word or a scripture or a song. They're going to say, now you got to do this for all of us. Like it pulls effortlessly. But when that shoe is on our feet, foot, hoof, whatever we're rocking with, then it's sometimes difficult to think of anything to motivate yourself. Why are we so hard on ourselves? That's a rhetorical question. Why are we so hard on ourselves? Well, listen, we all differ in our capacity for self-determination. You have some people who they may be the black sheep of their family, because if there's something in life they endeavor to do, nothing will stop them from accomplishing it. And so sometimes their family members are like, what's wrong with you? Wow, you just did such a, well, all you sit up and do is read. All you do is do. They can't even catch a break for all the stuff you're doing, because they're like, oh my God, what is he doing now? What is she doing now? But sometimes the person who's the go-getter and the overachiever, they don't have the support that they think they need. So they start regurgitating what people have said about them, and they own it as themselves. Yes, ma'am. Hello, hello, hello. Bear with me. I am trying to bring you up. Are you there? Miss Yamaja Jubilee, it looks like you are trying to speak. Are you there? Can you hear me? All right, so let me know if you're there and you want to share. If anyone is on any of our platforms and you want to share, just pop on up. Let's get this conversation started. And I do know, as in every other week, folks just want to listen, and that's fine. But if you have something you want to share, please do. And so we have a certain amount of motivation for others, but sometimes we don't have that for ourselves. So instead of pouring something positive into ourselves, we regurgitate some of the things that people around us say because they think you're doing too much anyway. Well, who do you think you are? Or it don't take all of that. Or I remember back when you used to, or they say these things and we're able to put up a blockade. And then over time, guess what? All it takes is one little small seed that they've planted with negativity. And guess what? It grows if we're not careful. And then we start assuming these self-defeating principles. The go-getter in you is like, I ain't doing this today. Or, maybe they were right. And we start to decompensate and self-sabotage. It's so easy for us to see when somebody else is trying to sabotage us, or the circle is really small. Our world is huge, but in certain industries, it's small and things get back. Oh, so-and-so said such and such. So we start to own the negativity and we give it power. So remember, we're talking about the patterns of self-defeat, okay? We own it over time. When people say or hear or certain things come up, you could back that up like, who they talking to? I don't even know them. They ain't talking to me. Watch me. If they say such and such, yeah, watch me. But meanwhile, we move on, but later on, we reach for those same attitudes that were said about us. Why do we do that? Individuals, we all are different in our capacity for self-determination. Some of you is just innate. You're going to go through, you're going to finish, you're going to be an overachiever, and you're going to beat everybody to the finish line. And then we have others who might get there, might not, or what have you. And it's okay. But listen to this. Individuals with moderate to high levels of self-determination are considered to be mature, effective, and well-organized persons who exhibit self-esteem, are able to admit faults, oh my goodness, and accept themselves as they are, feel their lives have meaning and purpose, can delay gratification in order to achieve their goals, and take initiative in overcoming challenges. Now, I know I just said a mouthful. We are able to what? We can achieve our goals, take initiative, overcome challenges. They're considered more mature when what? They have self-determination. So in my analytical mind, I think the opposite of self-defeat is self-determination. At a point, we stop being determined to reach our goals. And that turns into defeat. So on the other hand, you have individuals with lower levels of self-determination. They have low self-esteem. They blame others for their problems. They feel uncertain of their identity or purpose, and they're often reactive, dependent, and resourceless. Oh. Now they're saying we might be in heading into a recession, or the recession has started, depending on what news channel outlet or what your beliefs and political system are. You might think one way or the other. But the truth of the matter is, we can probably agree on gas prices are through the roof. Everything has just become more expensive. So it's really important in this time to have resources. Resources. Yes, you should be saving. You should be laying up for a rough day, rainy day, whatever you want to call it. Yes, you should be. You should be stockpiling certain things. Remember when the pandemic first started and there was no toilet tissue, no paper towels, no toothpaste, no food, no this, no that? Yes, you should have certain things that you have put aside just in case, non-perishables. Ways to open a can with no electricity. Get one of those old-fashioned can openers. Okay? Dry food. Some of those meals that never expire. We should be getting ourselves together, okay? But this, in this respect, with self-directedness, people end up leaning towards self-defeating patterns because they don't have resources. Okay? Then they're dependent. That's why we have to make sure we are always putting ourselves in a position of what? Not having to depend on people. Hello. You should be placing yourself where you're not having to depend on people. Now, wait. We all need others, so don't take it the wrong way, right? But we all should also be able to fend for ourselves. What if somebody that you've depended upon can't, or just don't, or they move away, or whatever? They can't be there for you. What do you want to do? This is why it's so important for us to make sure that even with our children, we are raising them to be efficient, self-sufficient. It's really important. If you want to be spoiling them and loving them stuff, I get it. I love it. But we also want to remember it's so important for them to be able to take care of themselves if in the event something happens to us. I remember in my daycare days, there was a family, the child needed resources. Like when I say resources, they needed resources. And the family declined them. And they weren't going to cost them anything. I just don't know what their decision thinking process was about, but they decided, thanks, but no thanks. And I said to one of the parents, I said, because their response was, I do everything for them. I'm going to take care of them. Okay, I get it. I understand. But think about this. If something were to happen to you, then what? We ain't going to worry about it, was their response. And hopefully nothing ever happens. And hopefully, everybody live to be forever, forever and ever. But we've got to incorporate independence in what we're doing. Like, you got to teach people how to fish instead of just handing them a fish cooked meal, right? And then people who are not self-determined, guess what? They're reactive. Why are you reacting to something that you have the power and position to prevent from happening from the get-go? Doesn't make sense. we have to make sure that we know who we are. There's a huge identity crisis. And I really don't care if people think about it, but it is. People are going through identity crises as we speak. They don't know who they are, what they want to be, what they want to be called, who they want to be today. I think with a little bit of support, they can find themselves, but sometimes people don't want to open themselves up to the possibility of needing help or another opinion. Or they want to make it appear that they got it all together. I don't know. But they're not knowing who they are. They have low self-esteem. Somebody told them they wasn't good enough. They wasn't this, they wasn't that, and they believe it. And so this contributes to self-defeating patterns. The only way that you can win in life is if you put it in your mind that you will not be defeated, that you're determined for this moment in space to get X, Y, Z done. See, self-determination, it involves your locus of control. I can determine I'm going to do this, that, and the other. But if I don't put a step forward to do it, it's not going to get done. So people have decided within themselves to think that success is unattainable. Well, I saw something, so I'll make it. I heard so-and-so did such and such. Wow, we started off the same time. And for whatever reason, we're probably thinking we haven't made that much movement, and we start being down on ourselves. We start questioning ourselves. What am I doing? Maybe they were right. You have to make sure with your whole self-determination concept, think of self-determination as having various subcomponents, such as internal locus of control, just spoke about it, purposefulness. Everyone has a purpose on this world. I don't care if you're told you weren't even supposed to be here, you were a mistake, you were an accident, whatever the story is, or now that you're here, we never loved you anyway. I don't care whatever has been said to you. You have a purpose, and you are given life for a reason. And it is your job to find what that purpose is and to live it, to just go gung-ho and never give up. Resourcefulness. I remember when we had to do book reports, we had to go where? To the library. If you really want to do your best, you was going to try to get into, what was that inner room called? It wasn't just the regular library, but you had to go into the reference section and try to, get on a list to read through their books. They'll give you an hour, maybe 30 minutes. But you couldn't sign those books out, right? And if you waited till the last minute, you was going to do what you needed to do to find some kind of support and resources, right? Well, fast forward to 2022. We don't have to go and sit in somebody's library to sign out a book. And we can go right online like you guys are tuning in today. And you can find resources that can be needful and helpful for what your purpose is. What is your purpose? When I write business plans for others, that's the first thing we talk about. What's your mission and your purpose? What is your mission and vision statement? If you hemming and hawing, well, I just want to do a business because I saw so-and-so, and that's not going to work. You got to have a purpose. Okay? And lastly, another subcomponent of self-determination is self-efficacy. Efficiency is what I call it, but it's self-efficacy. Probably you're pronouncing that wrong. But that means that you believe you have what it takes within you to get the job done, to do what you need to do. That's all it is. Now, I understand, it might be $500,000 that you need in earnest money to go and bring your project to life. I get it. And you probably looking in your account might have a good 50 cents. I understand. But that's where faith comes in at. That's where resources and being resourceful comes in at. You can't get your first no and decide, well, I guess that was a good thought. No. When people tell you no, they only tell you what they cannot do for you. They have no power to tell you what you can't have. Remember that. So sometimes you have to hang up and call back or schedule an appointment with somebody else to talk to, somebody on another level. You don't say no or hear someone say no and then that be it. If this is your purpose and your goal, and this is who you believe that you are, what God told you to do, and it's your passion, and it's burning inside of you, and it got to happen, and nothing is standing in the way of you bringing it to success but you. That's exactly what this is saying. So if I have the power within myself, why am I seemingly alienated from the fact of how resourceful I am? Why is it so easy for me to believe that it'll never happen or it will never work? What are some other things? You guys that are tuning in, you can use the chat if you like, or if you want to come on the mic, you can. But what are some other things people hear in their minds, tell themselves, or others have told them? You ain't good enough. You're just like your daddy. You're just like your mom. Oh, we'll see about that. Oh, you're going to do such and such, huh? Let us know how that turns out for you. There's so many things that people say to pull you off your mountain. Now, you might think you're in the valley, but because you have purpose, because you are an individual with a gift and a talent, and because 9 times out of 10, what God has given to you is to help someone else, is rarely for you. Okay? So that should dispel us saying, I don't feel like doing such and such today. It ain't about you today. It's not about you. It's about those that can benefit from your purpose, your gift, your talent. So we have to understand that we have to become our own problem solvers. Now, let me just say, because I have a couple of doctors on here. I see y'all. Thank you for tuning in. I'm not saying you don't need professional help. We all do from time to time. Get it? That's what it's there for. But we have to stop killing ourselves softly. There's a song, killing me softly with his words. Killing me softly, da, 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 right? We're killing ourselves softly because we won't move forward into our God-given right to be successful. We won't bring our dreams to life. We won't move. And then we start those patterns towards self-destruction. So what we have to do, because this topic today is overcoming self-destructing patterns, You can't say you're going to stop drinking and then stop over to the liquor store. I thought you said you was going to stop drinking. You can't say, I'm not going to be gambling anymore. Or I'm not going to be smoking anymore. Or I'm not going to steal anymore. Or I'm not going to do this, and that, and the other anymore. But put yourself in that position, in a space to make it happen. Okay? We've got to change our thinking. We are developing self-destructive patterns because guess what? We enjoy it. We benefit from it. Some people, they want to, be considered disabled. They don't want to push past the limits that have been placed on them because it benefits them. It gives them an audience. They love the medicine. Whatever the case is, they enjoy it. So they don't want the help. But when we get to a point where we are sure we are ready to change, when we get to the point where we understand the strength that we already embody, it's empowering. We have to understand that goals have to be set and you have to push yourself when you don't feel like pushing. Write you a list. My favorite book says, write the vision. Make it plain. What do you mean? If you have something that you desire to do, a business, a project, a whatever, write it out. Research the process to bring it to fruition. What's first? Who do I call first? And we have to, all of us, remind ourselves of why we are doing what we are doing. So when I assist people to write their business plans or help them to formulate a business, I want to know, what is your why? Why are you doing this? And I'm patient to receive a response. I don't need a response on the spot. If you truly have to think about it, okay. But you have to know your why. And you have to keep that front and center as to everything that you're doing all the time. Okay? Because if I know why I'm doing it, when distractions come, they're coming. When doors are slammed in your face, they're going to be slammed. When you're laughed out of the room, your why is going to help you to move forward. You're not doing this just because. There has to be a goal in mind. And if you have a goal as to why you're doing certain things, that helps to bring it into fruition as well. Make a list as to what you would like to do. As you accomplish certain parts of your goal, check it off your list and celebrate. There's things that are on that list that probably won't happen for 3 years because you're waiting on somebody else's portion to be done or someone else's approval or someone else to sign off on something. I get it. But the parts you can control, the parts that benefit you, get them done and celebrate. And it doesn't take a whole lot of money and flying here and there and expense to celebrate. Find out what you enjoy to celebrate. We have so many examples of self-destructive patterns that we are passing it on to the next generation. It's so easy to say, oh, you ain't nobody. Oh, that'll never work. Oh, you don't have what it takes. It's so easy to breathe negativity into someone else's dream and to stop them and to silence them from moving forward. We have to be real with ourselves. Now, seriously, you've got to take your own inventory, okay? Certain things are just not going to happen, okay? But who are we to determine what things will and won't if we're not putting forth the effort to even try? You've got to do your part. Self-esteem. Self-esteem is the number one reason why people are developing and learning to live with self-defeating patterns. We are not placed on this earth to be kicked, dogged, punched, slapped, abused in any fashion, form, way at all. We're not placed here for that. So if perchance you yourself are being abused, you need to make a decision that it stops today. We're not placed here for that. If you need assistance, reach out to me so that we can get you the help that you need. Okay? That's really serious. Domestic violence in any form will not be tolerated. That is not why you were placed on this earth. We are victims over and over again every day, and we suffer in silence. And guess what? It affects your self-esteem. So we have to accept our own limitations. There's no point in me saying that I want to go, build skyscrapers for a living, me personally. And I know I took maybe a year and a half of engineering courses and moved to another major. So I'm not prepared to build skyscrapers. I'm okay with that. We have to be willing to accept our own limitations, but it's not a final sentence. It's not the period at the end of the sentence on that. If perchance I wanted to become an architect or engineer, I can go back to school. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm probably not going to be going back to school no more. I'm good. I'm going to stick with what the Lord gave me. But my point is, it's never too late to move in the direction that you feel that you should move in. But why are we so timid about accepting what we are or who we are or what we bring to the table? Why? We are so someone said someone has beat you to the punch. Yes. I just want to know, why are we so eager to let our dreams be placed on hold? For the simple fact of, I didn't know how to do it. I didn't know who to call. Well, when I talked to that one person, they, right? We let these people talk us off our mountains. Even though we feel like we're in the valley, we don't feel like we've made ground at all. The fact that you are moving in your purpose, you are closer to the mountain than you believe. So we have to accept who we are. We have to accept what we are. We have to accept our past. We have to accept that there is a future. Dr. Howard said, there is always tomorrow, then tomorrow, and I get to it tomorrow, and I get to it tomorrow. Exactly. But someone is depending upon you doing what you can today. So let's be real with ourselves, okay? Let's stop with the fantasies. that we can do everything and, you know, we have unlimited ability and all that. Just be real with yourself, okay? And if you can do all those wonderful melodious things, my hat is off to you. Seriously, like go get her. I am going to champion you to the end of the finish line, okay? But we have to understand that we don't have limitless abilities. We have to understand that. I heard someone who's selling their new product say they'll do anything to remain youthful. And sad, but we just understand, listen, I want all of my years, okay? Yes, I'm trying to live to be 120 in my right mind, being able to defend and do for myself, okay? So yes, let me think like I want to think on that. I ain't going nowhere, right? But we got to understand that we're not getting any younger. Yep, there's technology, there's all these potions and serums and shots and surgeries. You can do it all. But ultimately, we're aging. And that's a good thing because there should come with it maturity. Someone said we let ourselves down when we do not stand in for ourselves. Hello. But we'll go somewhere and we'll pump up and, oh, good job. Oh, yeah. To someone else. And we don't even work our own vision, our passion. I always say, if you can work 9 to 5 on someone else's job, you should be able to log off or get home and do something towards your own passion, business, livelihood, longevity. They laying people off left and right. I know that there's a lot of jobs out here, but when you're in the job market, it's a different story. I'm just saying. It's a lot of jobs out there, but they're picking and choosing because they can who they're going to hire. So you might be waiting a little while, or you might get hired on the spot. Whatever it is, just understand that you should be working towards your purpose and your dreams as well. Let's not put 70 hours on the clock for someone else's industry. We retiring them. They getting Teslas and Lamborghinis and got 10 rental properties, and they living it up off of our backs. And we get home too tired to even write a word on a paper towards the book we need to finish. Doesn't make sense. Time management. And probably won't get it in all today, but I want us to start today to dispel those self-defeating patterns. Stop talking yourself out of your promotion. Stop talking yourselves out of a successful business. You can run it. You might say, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to say. Ask the Lord. Pray. When he see you putting up your efforts, when he see you making one step, he's going to make 2. But you got to get busy. Sitting there thinking about it, that ain't going to cut it. So even though I'm being true to who I am and what I'm not, we still want to make sure that our personality, the essence of who we are, that we never accept those self-defeating patterns. What you say, what you do, what you think. Don't accept the negativity. I do my best, and Lord knows I'm still trying. I do my best not to have too much negative to say to people, because now they've kind of taken it out of the classrooms, but remember back in the day, we used to have the subject of spelling. Remember that? They they took spelling out of the rooms, out of the classrooms, right? They took cursive. How they take cursive out of the classrooms? How are people gonna sign their check? They don't accept, they don't, or how can you sign the your employees' checks? Let's reframe it. If you don't know how to write in cursive, you don't know how to write your own signature. But remember that subject spelling, right? When we speak, we are actually casting spells. Think about it. When we think, that's why it's called spelling. When you talk, you're casting a spell. So we've got to be very careful about what we're saying. Spelling is not called spelling just because. When you write the vision, it comes to pass. Write the vision, make it plain. Write it out. What do you want to do? And even if today you hear me or you're listening on the replay, we have to make a concerted effort to say positive things to ourselves, about our efforts. Someone said the spelling bee. Exactly. Your words have life. It's not just words. There's power behind what you say. And that's why we've got to watch what we say. We have to watch what we respond to. We've got to watch what we agree to. Okay? Because I can't be saying, certain things like that. Oh, that'll never happen in my lifetime. But then the next breath, I'm writing a business plan. Well, you already said it's not going to happen. Stop doing that to yourself. Make a concerted effort to write all of the negative things that have come to your mind. It could be negative about anything. You ain't good enough. You this, you that, whatever it is, write those negative things down on one side of the sheet of the paper. And then on the opposite side, write something that's positive. Write something that's directly in proportionate to what was just stated. Something negative, you want to come up with a positive. Something not as happy, come up with something happy. Something not as fruitful, come up with something fruitful. We've got to be self-directed, ladies and gentlemen. You have to. I'm sitting there waiting for something to fall out the sky and give you directions. I'm sorry, it's not happening. It's coming. It's got to come from within you because God is in you. He's in all of us. We look just like, and when you look in your mirror, you are the image of God. When your kids look in the mirror or your family member, when I look in the mirror, that's what God looks like. We are all made in the image of God. So the God in you has already given you everything you need to bring it to success. And I would just say what we've gone through in our lives, it's not just because that was your lot in life. You went through some things so that you could also help someone else. Like I had 2 babies today. Okay. Not something I planned, not something I could have ever have foreseen. As much as God shares with me in the future, I never saw that coming. So that didn't happen just because. It's for a purpose. So we shouldn't just go through what we go through and sit and grieve the rest of our lives. You have a life to live. You've got work to do. You got people to help. You got generations to bless. Yeah, you went through that so you can be the generational wealth maker. Turn it into a business. Turn it into a way to help others. And then 2, let's not just focus on money, because if there's all this focus on money, you're going to miss the whole opportunity to help others. When you're focused on helping others, that's when the money comes. Fulfill your passions, fulfill your goals, fulfill your life, but it has to come from within. And I will say this, if you've never had the the option or the ability to be self-directed, to want to put things together for yourself, but you want to, that's when you hire a coach. That's when you talk to someone who can help you to the next level. We got to be willing to invest. Okay. Got to be willing to invest in ourselves. People who have gifts and talents and they have certifications and they've gone to school for this, that, and the other, they deserve to be compensated for their time. So if you are passionate about what you're doing and you, it seems that folks keep calling you or coming by and trying to get your opinion on things, that's a consultation. You should be compensated for your time and your expertise, your wisdom, and being a resource. So why are we so afraid to charge people? So listen, we must, and I'm hoping that today is a turning point. Stop saying negative things. Have you ever woken up in the morning and it's obviously the alarm goes off, or if you don't have an alarm, you just get up because it's time to get up, and all of a sudden you're not feeling your best? The moment you say, oh man, I don't feel good, do you realize you're calling in that real not feel good part of it? Instead, reframe it, get on up, get yourself together, and move in spite of. That's what we have to do in this time, because you have something that the world needs, and you're more than capable. You have the tools you need. Now, should you try to use other resources and collaborate? Absolutely. But you have to stop talking yourself out of your next level, your next blessing. People be prepared to pour into what you're doing and then you say something negative. Or they want to support you, but they don't even really see you supporting yourself. And last but not least, we have to understand that we are living the reality that we have created. If you're always thinking down in the dumps, it's going to be down in the dumps around you. That's going to be your experience. If you're always thinking, I can't, I wish I would, that's what it's going to be. So change your thinking. Change your concept of what you deserve. Some people don't even think they deserve any better. Some people don't believe they deserve. They just don't think they deserve. Tell yourself, I deserve better. I deserve more. I deserve the best. I am a child of God. I have what it takes to be successful. All of my needs are provided. God is my source. God is my resource. I will be an overcomer. I am an overcomer. We have what we say. So you can't get mad because it looks like somebody else is living a glorified life. When you're sitting there criticizing, oh, but you know, they should have did so and so, but oh, well, they was all right. But you sitting up critiquing them, and you could have put some energy into your own thing and probably have moved a little further to the finish line. But no matter what has happened, no matter where you are, your goals are going to determine your direction. If you don't have goals set, that's why you ain't going nowhere. That's why it's like the same thing. You just, going in a circle. Nothing has changed. Nothing is different. You owe it to yourself. And if no one has told you today, I'm telling you, you owe it to yourself to get up and get busy. To stop saying negative stuff and things about yourself. Don't sit up and cook for people and then talk about, oh, well, I know it ain't gonna taste good. Then why you cook it? Why you serve it? Stop saying negative things. Stop it, because what you think, you're going to say. What you think is what will be. And you be the generation curse breaker. You be the one to stand out to make a difference. You be the one to make a change. That if we continue in this portion of our lives, we're going to self-destruct. We're going to self-destruct. So you got to find purpose, find it within yourself. If you don't know how to get started, call me. To me, then that means you need to book a coaching session. Okay? Because you have what you need to get you to the next level already inside of you. But I know some of us have been so beat down and talked about and thrown to the side and have gone through hell and high water in life, and nobody gave us nothing and we ain't got nothing. I get it. But a little help is not going to hurt anyone. So I sincerely want you to understand there is a king in you. There is a queen in you. There is an overcomer in you. There is someone who is bigger than life itself, sitting right in your own mirror. You got to see it in your mind's eye before you ever see it in reality. And we've got to make sure we're not confusing fantasy with what God said, or the true gifts and talents, or the passion that we have. And so everything can happen right away in terms of making a change. And sometimes it takes time, but nothing happens and nothing changes if we don't take the first step. A habit is formed in 21 days of doing certain things. Now, it doesn't mean you can't form a habit in a day. I've seen it happen. But you have to be true to who you are and what you want out of life. But you can't have it both ways. You can't sit up here and be crying the blues and saying negative stuff and living in negative patterns and then saying, oh, but I really want to, or I really should. That's not how it works. So get up, determine within yourself, you have what it takes to be successful, to get started, and realize it's not by accident that you tuned in today. Or whenever you listen, it's not by accident. So go and make sure that your goals are measuring up to a level of purpose. Where are you purposing to go with this? What is your why? And I don't care who around you says it'll never happen. You're dreaming, you're fooling yourself. Do it anyway. I remember hearing someone say that when they had died and went to heaven, they looked up and there were all these packages on the ceiling, just different gifts and presents, nicely wrapped. And they said, oh, well, whoa, God, what's going on? What's in this room? What's all that going on up there? And the response was, in the story, of course, those are all the gifts I gave you. And you never even reached up to open them. So I ask you today, what gifts do you have in your hand? What's in your hand? The beautiful thing is, like I was saying, I could probably go back to architectural schools. I want to build me some skyscrapers because I want to be an engineer. It ain't happening. But I could. I don't know anything about that, right? Because I didn't get the right, I didn't finish. I moved on. There was too much going on at that time. But you have things in you that are innate to you. And guess what? You don't have to go to school. You don't have to get no training or nothing. You don't have to be certified. It's a gift. Use your gift and stopping every time you get distracted or you make a mistake or people laugh at you or things don't turn out right. Keep going. When people have big success, they're never going to tell you about every little small failure that there was. But believe me, there were. So thank you so much for tuning in today. I hope that rap sessions with Dr. Kiki is fruitful to you and for you, and that if it can't help or bless you, maybe it can help someone else. It is my desire for us to bring real conversations to all of us, in addition to our connections and commitments in our local organizations. We should still have real communications about life. So share this podcast, YouTube video, Clubhouse link, Instagram, wherever you're looking at us at, share it so it can bless someone else. And I sincerely want you to know that we do a lot of prayer and intercession for others. So if something is going on or troubling you, you don't have to tell all the details. Sometimes you can just say, hey, say a prayer for me. But let me know how I can help in that manner, because you got a long life ahead of you. And see, some of us think, oh, it's too late. I'm too old. No. Some of these folks who have created these huge, huge businesses started late in life. Now, if you can get started early, congratulations. But age has nothing to do with it. It's what you purpose within yourself. Am I going to be self-defeated? Am I living a self-defeated life? Or am I living a self-determined life? That's the question. So, my friends, may you continue to be blessed in all of your dealings. May you understand the beauty of who you are and where you are. You're not here by accident, and neither are your dreams. Bring them to life and bring them to full fruition. May God continue to bless you. Bye-bye.
Thank you for tuning in to Kiki Global Incorporated, where our motto is care and resources, kindness inspired. It is our goal to provide inspiration, kindness, resources, and love. May you be blessed and lifted the Kiki Global way.